Hello, I'm CJ Wellerman. In this episode, we reveal how Israel brainwashes Israeli and American citizens. But first, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our show. Now let's get into it. Israel lies about everything. It lies about its history, culture, Islam, and even things you can see with your own eyes. And it has lied non-stop about the October 7 attack and almost everything that has happened since. And even worse, it brings the US mainstream media along for the ride. As revealed by this investigation that found that this story, published by the New York Times about alleged mass rapes committed by Hamas, was constructed entirely on fabricated evidence. These lies lend American public support for Israel's genocide in Gaza. Last year, the Israeli government approved $30 million in funding for covert propaganda campaigns in the United States and other Western countries. But thankfully, an unprecedented number of Americans are starting to see through these falsehoods, as revealed in this newly released study, which shows that 20% of Democratic voters now consider themselves pro-Palestinian, up from 0% just 2 decades earlier. This is the kind of political sea change that has Zionists everywhere in a panic, which means Israel's lies about Palestine, Islam, and Muslims are about to become even more pernicious. Therefore, it's critically important that you, my white Western audience, learn how to identify these lies and tactics, because Israel is now desperate to change your perception of reality. It wants you to unsee everything that you've seen for the past 5 months. It wants you to forget that genocide ever happened and continues to happen. This new Zionist campaign to re-brainwash Americans and Europeans will be constructed on the same tools the Israeli government uses to brainwash Israeli citizens about Palestinians, which means the lies will flow primarily from 2 pivot points: framing Muslims for false flag terror attacks in the West and by weaponizing and exploiting the Holocaust. Now, we will come to the latter in a moment, but first we start with Europe and the United States, where media outlets are working hand in hand with Israel's allies to reignite fears about so-called Islamic terrorism, and then tie those fears to Hamas and the Palestinian people, even though Hamas is exclusively concerned with liberating Palestine from a criminal Israeli occupation and has absolutely zero relationship with global terrorist networks.
The reality is that the terrorism threat has been elevated throughout 2023, but the ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of an attack against Americans in the United States to a whole nother level.
This fear-driven propaganda is meant to reassociate terrorism in the minds of Americans when they think of Palestinians and Muslims. And it's being complemented by a coordinated effort from the Israel lobby. It is illustrated by this heinous lie in which the mayor of London, a Muslim man himself, sounded the alarm that British Jews were being attacked by pro-Palestinian activists by citing this bogus story here. This lie was repeated in the British media here and also here, before the police eventually came forward to declare the accusation a total lie, saying the restaurant was victim only of an ordinary run-of-the-mill burglary. We have seen these kinds of fake anti-Semitic attacks carried out by Zionists in Australia, Canada, and France. But this one attempted in the United Kingdom recently takes the prize. A proud Zionist posted a video online that falsely accused a hijab-wearing Muslim girl performing a sex act in a photo booth. A total lie meant only to sow division among pro-Palestinian supporters. But this is Israel. It not only lies about the current times, but also about the past, even using the memory of the Holocaust to cast itself as the victim while it's busy exterminating the Palestinian people, the same way the Nazis exterminated the Jews. The weaponization of the Holocaust is used to justify the violence of the Zionist state, which is why Israelis are brainwashed from an early age to associate Palestinians with Nazis.
Students in Israel are taught about the Holocaust starting in nursery school all the way to the 12th grade. Part of that learning is looking at horrifying images, or exercises that encourage students to put themselves in the shoes of the victims and relate to the experience. The identification of students with the victims isn't a coincidence. It's an intentional policy by the Israeli Ministry of Education. It's how you end up with a society where, according to one Israeli professor, every Jewish Israeli citizen is a Holocaust survivor or a potential victim of future Holocaust-like events.
The goal is traumatization and revenge, and not to let the fire of vengeance die out. However, this vengeance is not directed towards the German persecutors and their collaborators in Europe, but towards Palestinian colonized subjects who are Nazified.
This tactical transference of the Nazi identity onto the Palestinians is also seen in a newly released Israeli indoctrination song for children, in which Palestinians and specifically the people of Gaza are referred to as swastika bearers, as Israeli children sing lyrics about exterminating every Palestinian man, woman and child. We would show you this video, but we've been told our channel would be shadow banned if we do, which serves as yet another reminder how US-based social media companies operate as a protection racket for Israel. But what we can show you is something even more demented and deranged. The moment when Netanyahu lied about Hitler having no intention of killing Jews until a Palestinian made him do it.
To exterminate the Jews at the time, he wanted to expel the Jews. And Haj Amin al-Husseini went to Hitler and said, if you expel them, they'll all come here. So what should I do with them? He asked. He said, burn them.
Jewish-American scholar Norman Finkelstein, whose parents survived the Nazi death camps, explains how Israel weaponizes the Holocaust to justify and defend its occupation, war crimes, and human rights abuses. It does so by distorting the past and manipulating the present. He says the Holocaust has proven to be an indispensable ideological weapon for the Zionist state, and that through the deployment of this historical exploitation, it has allowed Israel, one of the world's most formidable military powers with a horrendous human rights record, to cast itself as a victim state and shield itself from legitimate criticism. This is why, in the days after Israel deliberately bombed another hospital in Gaza, killing hundreds of patients, the Israeli president went on television to claim a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf was found in a child's bedroom. What a total joke.
The book that led to the Holocaust and the book that led to World War II. This is the book that led to his victory in elections in Germany, which led to the worst atrocity of humankind, which the British fought against. Well, this book was found just a few days ago in northern Gaza in a children's living room.
Finkelstein was fired by his university for writing this book and was cancelled from mainstream media outlets in the United States. But he has never backed down because he believes the truth must be told no matter the personal costs.
Every single member of my family on both sides was exterminated. Both of my parents were in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And it's precisely and exactly because of the lessons my parents taught me and my two siblings that I will not be silent when Israel commits its crimes against the Palestinians. And I consider nothing more despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. So I refuse any longer to be intimidated or browbeaten by the tears. If you had any heart in you, you would be crying for the Palestinians, not for what's being done.
What anti-Zionist Jews like Finkelstein are up against is an Israeli education system that spends 12 years teaching Israeli schoolchildren how to dehumanize Palestinians, and then a further 2 to 3 years in the Israeli military, where they become the enforcers of an illegal occupation and system of apartheid. With 15 years of anti-Palestinian hate and propaganda under their belts, these Jewish settlers typically go on to travel the world and spend time living in their Western countries of origin, where they spread every lie and false narrative they have acquired in a deliberately racist education and military system. But encouragingly, more and more prominent Jewish people are coming forward to acknowledge the lies they've been told, like Jewish-American comedians Seth Rogen and Mark Maron.
I also think that as a Jewish person, like, I was fed a huge amount of lies about Israel.
Me too. The entire life.
You know?
Yes.
They never tell you that, oh, by the way, there were people there. They make it seem like it was just like they're sitting there.
Yeah.
Doors open.
Hours for the taking.
Like, it literally, they forget to include the fact to every young Jewish person, basically, like, oh, by the way, there were people there.
Their courage was met by an incredibly courageous Israeli protester in Tel Aviv last week, who compared his country's actions to that of Nazi Germany in the 1930s.
I'm against the government which behaves like the worst fascist that ever be. They studied everything that Germany did to us. We are doing now to the Palestinians.
When Israelis start to speak out against the immoral and unjust actions of the criminal Zionist regime, then you know the truth has begun to climb over the mountain of lies. But we must not lose this momentum. There's still so much to be done, especially given we know the Zionist lobby is investing $100 million on pro-Israel propaganda in the coming US election. So I urge you to support journalists, activists, and independent media who are willing to counter the coming whirlwind of Zionist-spun lies. The great Palestinian comeback has only just begun, and we will never stop covering it. Anyway, that's my time for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And we kindly ask you please support our effort to expose and confront injustices in the Muslim world by becoming a member of this show at patreon.com/CJWerleman. We can't produce, sustain, and grow this show without your help, and we offer exclusive benefits to those who do. But for now, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and stay blessed.